Hey Lee, how are you?
Good, thanks. You don't look like you normally do.
No, I've had a facelift actually.
Oh yeah, and an accent lift apparently too.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a holiday in New Zealand for a while, hence the
Okay,
accent. So
cool.
just don't make me say the number after 5 would be great.
Okay, yeah, or anything about presentation decks or something like that. Right.
Yes, nothing like that at all.
Cool. So you're not Jules. You're Ali. Do you want to introduce
I
yourself?
am. Yeah, my name's Ellie. I help run the social pages here at Camp Wildfire, and yeah, this is my second live, and so yeah, really excited for it. Ready to crack
Awesome.
into it. Do you want to
Yeah,
introduce
great.
yourself as well?
Yeah, I'm Lee. I'm one of the founders of Camp Wildfire. Jules, who is my wonderful co-founder, it's her mum's birthday, so she's taking her mum out. So happy birthday, Catherine Lowe. So she can't be here today. So Ali has kindly stepped in. Cool. So the way this works is we're here for half an hour to answer any questions that you want about Camp Wildfire, mainly about enrollment, because we have enrollment for weekend 2 coming up tomorrow. We had already had weekend 1 last week, last Wednesday, but yeah, we've got weekend 2 coming up tomorrow, and it's a pretty crazy, fun, sometimes stressful process. So we're here to make it more fun and answer as many questions as we can, give you our top tips. If you've got a question, wherever you're watching, if it's Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, just drop it in the comments, and then Ali will get on top of it, and we'll, hopefully be able to cover lots of things for you.
Yeah, should we crack into it now?
Yeah.
One of the first questions was Sasha Jones says, "Hope Jules is okay. I've never known her to miss a live." So
birthday duties.
Birthday duties, of course. We have a question here from a little orcs, who says, "Will the queuing system be improved this year? Some people last year were in the queue for quite a while."
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we've put a lot more resources. When I say resources here, money, into improving that. So it's going to be there's more lanes, bigger like infrastructure, and more team there to deal with that. So yes, it should be faster. Please, don't arrive at like 5 minutes before the ceremony starts. The opening ceremony starts. But yeah, should be much better.
Cool, awesome. Got another one here from Alexandra Little, who says, "I'm booking for 2 people and have both tickets on my account. How does enrollment work? Can I book for 2 people simultaneously, or can you only book for 1 person at a time?"
Yeah, so if you've got both tickets on your account, then you can book for both people, and there'll be like an enroll all button, so you can enroll both of you, or you can just enroll one of you in a session. So you have complete control over whether you're doing things together or doing things separately. Make sure you're set up and ready to go, because you'll have to like set up like each person's ticket with their name and things. So you want to make sure you've done that in advance of 7 p.m. tomorrow. To do that, the best place to kind of look at all of that information on how to do that is we've got a set of guides at campwildfire.co.uk/help. If you just search in there, enrollment, there's like a video guide that will take you through all of the steps you need to do to get prepared, or there's a written guide if you prefer a kind of the written format. And if you're really struggling, you can always DM us on that help center as well. There's like a little web chat, and we've got a team, an awesome customer experience team that will help you get sorted with anything you need.
Awesome. Cool. So we've had a few questions come through regarding the weather. Donna says, "Can you explain what your plan is if the weather continues, particularly in regard to cooking and fire prevention with tents being so close together?"
Yeah, so we've actually dealt with this similar situation to this a few years before. I think it was in 2022 or 21. We had kind of like a similar very dry year. So we do have like a whole fire safety plan that has been previously run with that. That does mean we have to implement various kind of restrictions on what kind of cooking equipment you're allowed to bring, where you're allowed to use it. So in 2022, it was only allowed to be used in the camp cooking areas. In fact, that's the reason we have the camp cooking areas. They kind of came out of that. Not being allowed to smoke in certain areas of the forest, and various other bits, and then lots of stuff behind the scenes in terms of like having additional fire protections. It's a little too early for us to have like completely pressed go on that yet. We're just waiting to see a little bit closer if we can get some more forecasting information in. But it's kind of like it's all on standby, ready to go. So as soon as we do take that decision, which I imagine will definitely be in the next couple of weeks, we will get kind of full communications out about what we'll have to change to make sure that this year's event can run safely if these weather conditions do continue.
Cool. I have a question here asking how many activity credits you get per ticket. So this is one I can actually answer. So we have 3 different types of tickets. We have elementary, standard, and dynamo. So with elementary, you get 60 activity credits to use across the weekend. Standard is 120, and dynamo unlimited, as many as you like. Elementary is great if you just want to do a few activities, and you can throw in a few free ones as well. Standard's great to kind of get a nice balance of the two. And if you just want a crazy, weekend packed with activities, then Dynamo's the way to go for you. Nice. We have a bunch of stuff in the chats about which patrol to go for. A lot of people are asking what patrol you belong to, Lee. Have you got an allegiance?
No. Jules and I stay strictly impartial. Is that the right word? Impartial? I think so. We're strictly like no allegiances. How about you, Ali? Are you...
The patrol leaders often try to bring me into various patrols. I am open to bribery with which patrol I'm in. But no, I love all patrols equally, of course. And I can actually, the cool thing that I like about the patrols is I can see a bit of myself in all of them. I can kind of relate to all patrols, which I really enjoy. Is that diplomatic enough? I hope so.
Hey, that was better than mine. You love all patrols. That's better than mine. Just like impartial. I'm going to steal that line next time I'm asked.
You have that one for free. We've got Buddha 6972 here who says, "This is my first time. They're coming solo. They have type 1 diabetes and need insulin injections. Is there a way I can keep my insulin cool?"
Yes, you can. There is a medical team who are based in general camping. They have fridges that they can store medication in. So once you arrive, head to the medical tent in general camping, and they'll sort that out for you.
Cool, perfect. Abby Brown here on Facebook asks, "Is there a queuing system for enrollment of activities?"
No, there isn't. It's strictly a first come, first serve system. So that's why we kind of keep going on about you want to have made sure that you've got your account ready, you've favorited lots of activities, and you're ready to go at 7, because some things can fill up very quickly. Like in, I think, 1 to 2 minutes, I've seen some activities fill up. That's just because 3,000 people are trying to enroll simultaneously. So it's worth doing all the prep work, making sure you've watched that video, you've read that article, and getting ready.
Awesome, cool. Lisa asks, "Where's the lake?" She saw it on our after movie, and doesn't notice it on the map.
Yeah, so the lake is so the estate that we hold Camp Wildfire at is very, very big, and we use kind of one corner of it that's like a heritage pine forest, because it's really beautiful kind of space to be camping around and to be doing activities in. But the lake is separate from that. It's kind of like a short journey across the estate. So you have to jump in a minibus and go down like a country lane. It wouldn't be safe to walk down the country lane there. So that's why everyone jumps in a little minibus, and it's like a 5-minute kind of journey down to another part of the estate. We used to do it in like everybody in a big tractor trailer, like over the hills of the estate. But health and safety doesn't allow that anymore.
The good old days, Harley.
The good old days.
We have a question from Instagram who's asking for our top tips for enrollment. Why don't you give your top tip?
Oh, my top tip. Okay, so obviously I've kind of said be prepared and everything like that. My top tip is to just take one thing, choose one thing that you would never normally do, because that's where the like magic happens. So take one thing where, you know, if you're usually really into like you know, you're like the adrenaline type stuff, like the flying trapeze or the quad bikes, do something, and you don't do any crafts or anything like that, do something crafty. And if you're really into crafts and you don't usually do kind of like outdoorsy bushcraft things, do that. Just choose one, just dedicate one piece of your time, 1 hour of your weekend to doing something completely outside your comfort zone, whatever your comfort zone is, because that's where you get the real like magical moments of like discovery and like self-growth and like feeling like you've really learned something new or accomplished something.
Yeah, that's a great one. I think from me, it would be to log in beforehand. So log in now before enrollment and just make sure that all your tickets are assigned, that all your emergency contact details are in there, and use that pre-enrollment to favorite some of your favorite activities. Pick sort of 3 or 4, like you said before, Lee, that you really want to do that. Therefore, when you log in during enrollment, you can just go straight to your favorites and actually book it from there and get those precious seconds ahead of some of the others. So yeah, that'd probably be my top tip, I reckon. We have a question here from Harry on Instagram, who says they're working when enrollment begins and they won't be able to do it till they finish work late in the evening. Will there still be activities to choose from?
There definitely will be. Some activities will definitely be booked up by then. I think like some things get fully booked within the first 10 minutes. But there will definitely be more than enough activities for you to kind of completely fill your time and use all your credits and like have the most amazing weekend. We weigh, while we can't like scale like each activity, like, you know, you can't make like the like pottery wheel activity just bigger and bigger and bigger forever. Like, so each activity has a limit, but the total supply of activities across camp is, we've got like massive amounts of headroom on it. So yeah, there's plenty.
There'll always be a spot for you somewhere. Love that. Tony Cox on Facebook says it's their first time coming to camp and they apologize for all their silly questions. This is a great time to ask any of your questions.
There's no silly questions. No silly
absolutely questions. No silly questions at all. They ask, do you have to stick to have all your activities in the same area? And would you be disadvantaged if they were to enroll in activities that are further apart?
It fully depends how fit you are, mobile you are, how much energy you've got. It can be big. If it takes maybe like, I don't know, it could take like 20 minutes to walk from an activity in base camp to the water slide, which are like sort of the two extremes maybe. If you're doing that all day backwards, firstly, you're going to just spend a lot of time traveling and you're going to get really knackered. So what we tend to say is like, try and pick like a zone and sort of like stay in that area for like the morning and then go somewhere else for the afternoon. So, you know, if you've got an activity, if you enroll in an activity in playing fields, do a couple of things either side of that in playing fields, then maybe do your afternoon in center camp and do a few things around that. So yeah, a little bit, so somewhere in the middle.
That's another top tip from you there, Lee. Nice one. Sarah Weston asks what the most popular activity last week was.
Oh, you know what? We looked this up, and we've got like some incredible stats that were really fascinating for us, because it was not what any of us thought was gonna be like the top. I think there were like 3 or 4 things that were like the fastest ones to go that none of us had guessed. We specifically don't want to share that information now, because we don't want to like influence people's choices for the second week. So we've decided that, because Ali was going to publish it, it kind of made a
I was
cool like infographic and video, and we decided we're going to hold that information back, and we're going to publish it all like later with like all interesting stats and things, because we don't want to influence week 2. We want to see if there's a difference. Yeah, because we were really surprised.
Yeah, well, look, everyone in the comments, guess what the #1 activity was, and whoever gets it right, I'll give you a crisp high five at camp. How about that?
Or a patrol point.
Or the first person who gets it right, I will give a patrol point. There you go. You have it in writing now. There you go. It's official. Awesome. Just people just yelling the word badges in the comments. I love that. We have Susan Portsmore here, who says, are we allocated where we pitch our tent, or do we just choose a space ourselves?
No, you just choose a space yourselves if you're in general camping. So we call it festival style camping. You just turn up, find a space. The earlier you turn up, the more space there is available. So yeah, if you're in reserved camping, you get reserved pitch. That's sold out now, so you can't book that. If you're in pre-pitch camping or boutique camping, then we put a tent up for you. So those kind of you get your own your like pre-planned spot.
Awesome. We have a question from Instagram. Someone's asked if we keep adding more and more people to the capacity each year, or do we cap it to try to keep the vibe of the festival alive?
The capacity of this year's is exactly the same as last year's.
Awesome. Love that. We've had about 5 or 6 comments about people asking us to bring back Escape and Evade for this year. I don't think it was on the activity list, so we'll have to get that one added for 2027.
Yeah. We're always switching some things out and rotating new things in to try new things. So yeah, if you're missing something that you really want, then just let us know, and maybe it'll come back.
Yeah, absolutely. R Edwards 05 on YouTube has asked, do I have to cook, or are there breakfast, lunch, and dinner food stalls to purchase food? And most importantly, where will be access to a cup of tea in the morning?
No, there's like loads of there's food villages across camp. There's bars and cafes across camp. All your tea, coffee, alcohol, soft drink, breakfast, lunch, dinner, every kind of cuisine, all dietary requirements, all taken care of. So you don't have to worry about cooking a thing if you don't want to, but you are also welcome to bring your own food.
Great. Often it's a hybrid of the two. Some people cook, breakfast, and then they sort of buy dinner, and vice versa. So yeah, kind of do what you want, really. We have Elena Victoria 91 on Instagram asks, are there any things that we did for the 10th anniversary last year that we're keeping this year?
So last year for the 10th anniversary, we created a kind of an opening ceremony and a closing ceremony that involved some airplanes and some fireworks. There will not be any airplanes and there will not be any fireworks, but we have kept the premise of the closing ceremony and are doing something a little bit different. So that's a surprise, but we hope it's a good surprise. We hope it's fun.
Yeah, fantastic. Ashley Rose asks, can you book activities on the day if a space comes up and is available?
Yeah, so you can sign into your account. You can keep making changes to your enrollment at any point. And if you're on a wait list, that wait list will keep moving. So keep an eye on your kind of emails for that. Yeah, you can make changes up until, I think, any point up until like half an hour before a session starts. So yeah.
Fantastic. We have another comment here from Laura Louise from Facebook. Asks, if they can bring their own stand-up paddleboard and use it on the lake?
No, you can only use the equipment that is provided by our instructors on the lake, and you must be enrolled into the session. It's not like it's not a lake you can access to just kind of like go off and do your own thing, unfortunately.
Cool. Natasha Lauren on Facebook asks, can they bring a disposable barbecue? Maybe a good time to talk about the different kind of campers and stoves you can bring to camp.
Yeah, we already have some quite tight restrictions on what types of stoves you can bring. You're definitely not allowed to bring barbecues. The types of stove restrictions may also get tighter because of the hot weather, if we have to, or the very dry weather, I should say, if we have to take additional action to like prevent any forest fires and things like that. So please do make sure you read up on what they are currently, and also keep an eye on emails and social media for any announcements over the next couple of weeks, as we get more information about what the weather's going to be like for the next month.
Cool, fantastic. We have a question here from Sammy Lou Smith 77 on Instagram, who says they're coming for the first time and they're coming on their own. They're a bit nervous.
Awesome.
They want to know, is there somewhere for solo people to go?
So there's a digital place for solo people to go, which is on Facebook, facebook.com/Wildfire, and click on groups on the menu, and then there's a like Flying Solo Adventurers of Camp Wildfire. I don't know where that was the name. We chose it ages ago. But join that and say hi, and then you will no longer be going solo, because you will have like the biggest group of friends immediately, because there's loads of people that come solo, and it's a super awesome, wonderful, welcoming community. So you will meet plenty of people through that. As for like solo camping on site, I think there's like an area that people camp together, but it's not like strictly enforced, so it's a little bit loose.
Fantastic. We have a question from Rebecca G. Nicholas on Instagram, who asks, is cash allowed on site or is it contactless only?
Contactless only. Yeah, everything involved with the events is digital payments only.
Fantastic. God, I didn't realize when I asked people to put that to guess in the comments that it would push all the questions in the bottom. Having to scroll and find these questions. That one's on me. Someone asked about what's the deal with drop-in activities? Do they cost credits or are they free?
So drop-in activities are completely free. You'll see them in Enrollment. We put them in there just to like help you kind of like see what's on and think about what things you might want to get involved in. But they don't use any credits, and you can't actually you can pencil them into your schedule, but you can't actually like reserve a space. So the drop-in activities just work on a system of you kind of like, if there's lots of people, you have to queue up, you kind of have a go on the activity. If you want to go again, you join the back of the queue. The idea of those is really to like fill all the little gaps in between like the enroll activities. So, it's great if you've got 20 minutes spare in between a couple of activities. Go and throw yourself off a giant, like 5-meter high tower. They're there to fill all the little gaps, so that, everything's just pure awesomeness.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Someone asks, what are the rules around bringing their own alcohol? Are they allowed to bring their own alcohol into camp, or is there a limit on that?
There's a limit. You can bring up to 8 cans of beer or cider or premixed spirits. Again, go and check the exact wording of that, because I always get told off for saying it slightly wrong. But just go into like the help center and search, and it will tell you exactly the rules on that.
Fantastic. We've got time for a few more questions. Sammy Lou Smith 77 asks, what time can they arrive on Friday, and what time do they need to leave on the Monday?
You can arrive from midday on Friday. That's when the gates open. If you're driving, you can arrive at the car park from 11. And then you need to leave by midday on Monday.
Fantastic. We have another question here from Sarah, who asks if we're doing Cupid's Club again this year.
Yes, we are. And I believe it's getting a bit of a glow up again. Always kind of like adding bits to Cupid's Club. If you want to join, you can do it on the kind of the extras page, sort of somewhere near enrollment. And I think there's some information in enrollment on it. So yeah, yes, we are doing it.
Fantastic. Kelly Bloomfield from Facebook asks, what is one activity you would love to do yourself and would recommend to people, and to people with mobility issues? What's an activity you recommend to them to?
My one activity, I think, would cover both of these, because my one is African Harmonies. I walk past it all the time when I'm kind of like on my way to do different jobs, and every time it just sounds so amazing. And it's all people who, you know, lots of like presumably like not singers, you know, it's like people who are doing it new, but it just sounds so great, and it kind of gets me here every time I walk past it. So that's the one I would say for that.
You stole my answer there. African Harmonies is the one that every time, whenever you're walking through the forest, you just sort of hear it in the distance, and it always sounds so beautiful. To try to be, I guess, contrary to you, I'm not the craftiest guy. Like I haven't really done crafts most of my life, so I'd love to get into like one of the craftier ones. The blacksmithing always looks really cool. And you know, I reckon I'd really suit a flower headdress too. So maybe those two. You know, I reckon I can make a mean flower headdress. I reckon.
Yeah.
We have someone from Instagram called Totally Unrelated Username asks if they can bring flags, some flags to wave into the campsite.
You know what? I don't know. Could you ask that on the web chat, and somebody will be able to check that? I've not been asked that question before, and I'm not sure, and I don't want to give an incorrect answer. That's fair enough.
If you any questions that you pop into the questions here, I will go through and answer all of them. And this Q&A will be posted as well, so you can go back and look through it if you like.
Yeah. Awesome.
Let's do. Is the arrival time the same for live-in vehicles as it is for everyone else?
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Cool. Okay, this will be the final question for us. Shanice says, if you buy extra credits and don't use them, can they be refunded?
Yes, we have a 7-day cooling off period on those items, so you can if you don't use them, just let us know within 7 days. You can get a refund.
Perfect. Great. All right. Well, look, let's call it there. For all the other questions, I'll get around to answering you tomorrow morning. And yes, if you have any further questions, just pop them in the comments, and I'll get an answer to you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me tonight, Lee. It was nice to make a guest appearance. I'm no Jules, but I'll take backup in second place any day.
Oh, you did great. You did wonderful. That was great hanging out with you. Cool.
Thanks, mate. All right. See you later, guys.
Bye.